Okay, so hi guys. Thanks for coming. So, start tayo with this picture. So this one, ano sa tingin niyo ano siya? Like food naman, right? Gets you naman na food, diba? So this one is not an uncommon sight. Ngayon, you go to any aisle sa grocery, you have so many options. And I don't know about you guys, some people already know what they want pag nasa aisle. Ano ba to? Bread? I don't know what that is. Cereal. Oh, so some people already know what they want pag nandyan sila. Pero some people take much longer to choose, diba? Pero ultimately, we all end up with something that we say yes to. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. How do we arrive at that decision? Alright, so that's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about the principles of yes by Robert Cialdini, or, well, yung actual title niya is The Science of Persuasion. Pero gusto ko the principles of yes. Okay? So, si Robert Cialdini, isa siyang scientist or psychologist na inaral niya yung Science of Persuasion for a very long time already. And this field of study has actually been around for more than 100 years na. Like, it started sa propaganda nung World War II and how to do information campaigns and all that stuff. So the things that I'm gonna talk about today isn't very, I'm sure hindi siya bago sa inyo, pero it's worth still talking about it kasi sometimes when we make choices, hindi natin na-realize kung bakit nga ba yun yung choice that we made. Okay. So, we'll cover 6 principles, or parang more like human tendencies on why we say yes to things. And these tendencies, syempre, they're just tendencies, so they don't always apply to everybody at every situation. But later you'll see examples of how these tendencies are used by not just people like us, but like marketers and siguro yung mga SAGs, how they use these tendencies to influence people to say yes to things. Okay. So, ito free taste. So, sino dito pumapatol sa free taste? Alright. Okay. Has it ever worked on you guys? Like, may na-free taste kayo, tapos binili niyo talaga?
Yes.
More free
Yes.
taste.
Yes. Okay. So, if it hasn't, okay, good for you. If it has, then congrats, you're a normal human being. Okay? So, this free sample thing works because of the concept of reciprocity. Okay? So, when people give us free, unsolicited gifts, we feel obliged to return the favor. So, another example is like may free trial or may freebies. And actually, charitable organizations do this pagka naghihingi sila ng donations. So, there's this organization sa States, before nag-mail lang sila ng requests na, uy, pengi pera, ganyan. Pero what they changed after that is, nagbigay sila ng free stickers along with the letter. And that, like, got them more donations. So that's proof that this works. But it also applies not just to things, it applies also to concessions or adjustments. For example, ako may hiningi ako kay Reg. Parang, Reg, favor, pwede bang pabantay ng aso ko sa Saturday? Tapos, sabi ni Reg, di pwede. So parang ako, nag-adjust ako, sige, pwedeng pabili na lang ng dog food. So gets, parang yung adjustment ko na yun sa kay Reg is kind of, parang mafe-feel ni Reg na obliged siya to say yes kasi nag-adjust na ako for her. Parang ganon. So, ganon din yung, that's another way of making reciprocity work. So, the next principle naman is consistency. So, it's our tendency to want to be consistent with what we commit to or what we say publicly. So, this can either be verbal or written like this one. Yan, pag nagsasign ng petition. So, example, mayroong isang restaurant. Okay, ito real life to. Mayroong isang restaurant, tapos nakakatanggap sila ng requests for reservations. Pero yung problem nila is like a lot of people flake on those reservations. So, magsiset sila ng table, tapos hindi naman pala sisipot. So, what they did, they changed 2 words sa script nila when they entertain reservations. And this change reduced the no-show rate by 20%. Okay, so ano yung change na yun? So, yung before, sinasabi nila is, please call if you have to change your plans. Ngayon, ginawa nila, will you please call if you have to change your plans? And then they wait for the person to respond. So, if that person says yes, so that person will feel obliged na parang, okay, shit, sisipot na lang ako kasi sinabi ko na magtatawag ako. Or, pag hindi ako sisipot, tatawag talaga ako. Kasi they made that commitment to someone already. So, those two words were effective because it used the force of a powerful human motivation. That is, we want to be consistent with what we say. Siyempre, integrity. And gusto natin, makita tayo as people who aren't toxic. Diba? So, yun. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3 is this one. Okay, so itong shot na to, nakuha to nung motorcade ni Catriona Gray. Okay, so actually, nung nag-motorcade siya sa Ayala, nandun kami, nila Reg, nila Phil. Sobrang daming tao, obviously. Nakita niyo nga, sobrang daming tao. Tapos, may sumigaw. Like, ewan ko ilan sila. Pero sumigaw sila, parang, ganyan. Tapos, sumigaw na rin yung ibang tao. Tapos, tumakbo pa sila dun sa, as in sa road mismo, like, where the thing is gonna pass. Tapos, sobrang daming tao sumunod. As in, like, sobra. Tapos, after, like, 5 seconds, bumalik na silang lahat. Kasi wala pa pala talaga si Catriona. So, nantitrip lang yung kung sino mga unang sumigaw na yun. So, what does that demonstrate? Our tendency to seek for social validation daw. So, ano sabi dito? If many individuals have decided in favor of a particular idea, we are more likely to follow because we perceive that idea to be more correct. So, obviously, iba yung situation ni Catriona kasi everyone there already wants to see her. Like, hindi na nila kailangan magpa-convince na, Catriona, gusto ko maging desperate ka for my attention. Hindi naman ganun yun. But, gets, we have the tendency to perceive ideas as more valid if marami ang in favor doon. Which makes sense. And obviously, medyo may dangerous implications yun agad eh, di ba? Kasi what if mali yung idea na pinupush ng mga tao? So, syempre, delics yun. But the less harmful examples are yung mga things na tagged as popular or like hot right now sa Spotify. Or meron rin sa YouTube, yung number of views. Diba? When we see na the video already has 1 million views, then it's much easier, or it's an obvious choice na yun yung papanoorin ko over something that has like 900 views lang. So, another more realistic example is, the article cited this, there's one experiment na in a busy street, may isang tao, tumingin lang siya sa langit. Like, nag-look up siya sa sky. Like, yung objective niya doon was manguto ng ibang tao na tumingin na lang sa taas. Pero since one person lang siya, hindi nag-work yun. So, nag-increase sila ng number of people, yung starter group na titingin sa taas, until it reached 15 people. And then, nung 15 na silang nag-start tumingin sa taas, they attracted like 40% of the passers-by and almost like nag-cause ng traffic. So, yun, this one is very common sense, di ba? Na parang, okay, malamang sasabay ako sa uso, or that's what everybody does. But wala lang, again, sometimes kasi when we don't realize it. So, ayun, wala lang, share ko lang siya. So, mamaya, sa conclusion, pabalik tayo. Okay. Number 3. Okay, next. Number 4. Okay. Si Catriona ulit. So, why am I using her again? Because number 1, I like her. And a lot of people like her also, obviously. So, now that Miss Universe na siya, and ang daming may gusto sa kanya, what do you guys think will happen to her career? Sa tingin niyo, ano yung makukuha niyang deals? Endorsements. Okay. Ano yan? Love life. Wala na daw. Break na sila. Okay. Wait. Okay, so yun, endorsements. So, what I'm looking for. So, endorsements. Why do endorsements work? So, maraming reasons why. But one is because endorsements bank on our tendency to say yes to the people that we like. Again, very common sense. Pero ayun, liking, affinity, or rapport, ito, feeling of connection to between people. And there are different ways to stimulate this connection daw. Actually, 4 ways. Number 1 is physical attractiveness. As much as we hate to admit na na-attract tayo sa mga magaganda at gwapo, it really happens. Number 2, similarity can also induce rapport. So, if example, nasa loner ka, tapos you meet someone na, uy, taga-Makati ka din, or uy, taga-Lasal ka din. So, automatic connection na kayo doon. And automatic na you feel some sense of liking towards that person already. Number 3, giving compliments. So, pag sinabihan ko si Reg, blooming ka today, pwede bang pagawa ng ganito? So, mas may tendency siya to say yes to me. Okay. Number 4. Sorry ko, lagi ko ginawa. Nandiyan ka kasi. Okay. So, number 4 naman is cooperation. So, this one naman, example, bibili ka ng kotse. Ikaw yung client. So, bibili ka ng kotse, tapos may kausap kang agent. Tapos yung agent, may manager pa. So, ginagawa daw ng agent and ng manager, pagkukunyari silang si manager mataray and like ayaw magpabigay ng kahit anong tawad. And then si agent yung magiging hero ng client. So parang if like, makikita ni client na the agent is fighting for me, oh, bait-bait niya, pero yun pala nagpapa-hard to get lang talaga si manager. So that relationship between the agent and the client already helps boost like their relationship business-wise. Kasi parang mas gusto na ni client si agent kasi cooperative si agent. And syempre, in the future, doon na rin siya makipag-deal. So, ganun. Nung nabasa ko to parang, oh, damn, that's smart. So, ayan. Okay. So, that's liking, affinity, or rapport. Again, one of the very common sense things. And parang ang babaw niya, honestly. Parang, like example, if meron nagbebenta sa'yo, tapos mayroong stranger na nagbebenta sa'yo, and meron kang friend na nagbebenta sa'yo ng same thing. So, di ba, parang, obviously, doon ako sa friend ko kasi gusto ko siya. Or, syempre may other factors din yun. Pero gets, ganun lang siya kasi ako. Okay, number 5 is authority. So, this one is possibly another reason why endorsements work. So, when we hear about the opinions of authorities, we tend to follow or trust what they say. Example, doctors. Sa Safeguard, yung commercial sila laging may pamit. Hindi ko alam yung pamit, pero laging may pamit. Or meron yung 4 out of 5 doctors recommend this, blah, 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 blah. So, syempre, those claims have to be legal naman kasi like doctor, like health shit yun. Pero sometimes, kahit figure of authority lang, nag-work pa rin. For example, may experiment ulit na may isang guy, nakakapagpasunod siya ng tao na mag-jaywalking dahil naka-suit and tie siya versus like naka-casual wear lang siya. So the difference daw is like nakapagpasunod siya ng 350% more people nung nag-suit and tie siya versus nakamaong lang. So that's one thing. This is not to say naman na we're all judgmental na lahat ng naka-suit and tie matino. Although, again, tao lang tayo, so normal lang naman i-assume yun. But it really just makes sense for us to follow authority because may trust na. Parang, okay, alam niya, he knows what he's talking about, or at least he looks like he knows what he's talking about, so I'll follow him. So, their insights kasi, when we trust authority, their insights help us make a choice that is good, and it helps us decide quickly. Kasi parang, sabi ng doctor ko so ganun na nga yung reason. So, that's number 5. The last principle or technique is scarcity. Okay, so ang sabi dyan. Items and opportunities become more desirable to us as they become less available. So, classic example, pag nagbo-book ka ng flights, 3 seats left. Or, pag sa mall, until supplies last, or limited time only, limited offer only. So, in this example, ayan, sa grocery, pag like isang item na lang siya, parang, ay, kukunin ko na to kasi baka mawala pa siya sa akin. So, this not only applies to commodities, but also applies to the value of information. So, meaning, information that is exclusive can be more persuasive. Example, may sinabi ako sa'yo, tapos sabihin ko, uy, insider info yan ah. So, parang, okay, legit to. Parang ganon. Kasi parang, konti lang nakakaalam. So, I don't really know actually why scarcity works. But maybe, theory ko lang, maybe because we feel more special pag nakuha natin yung last item na yun. Parang, okay, I belong to a group na kami-kami lang yung meron nito and muntik na ako mawala sa group na yun, but I got the chance. Parang gano'n. Or, yun nga, we feel more satisfied knowing that we got it before it's too late. So, there. So, to recap, we have reciprocity, consistency, validation or social validation, liking, authority, and scarcity. Let's look at an example that applies all of these techniques. Okay. Can someone read? Wow, ang teacher. Ako na. Okay. So, let's read. Okay. Surely, someone with your splendid intellect can see the unique benefits of this article. And because you look like a helpful person who would want to share such useful information, let me make a request. Would you buy this issue of the magazine for 10 of your friends? Well, if you can't do that, would you show it to just one friend? Wait, don't answer yet. Because I genuinely like you, I'm going to throw in, at absolutely no extra cost, a set of references that you can consult to learn more about this little-known topic. Now, will you voice your commitment to help? Please recognize that I am pausing politely here, but while I'm waiting, I want you to feel totally assured that many others just like you will certainly consent. And I love that shirt you're wearing. Okay, so i-dissect natin.
Scam it.
So yan, ano to guys, of the 6? Alright? Feel ko reciprocity siya. Or liking. Liking kasi compliment. Okay, ito rin, ganun. You look like a helpful person. O ito, well, if you can't do that, so nag-adjust siya. Ito yung reciprocity. Oh, because I genuinely like you. Liking. And then,
Actually, consistency. Kasi parang pinupuri niya ako sa kanya lagi.
Ganun. Okay. Okay. Absolutely no extra cost. Reciprocity again. Little known topics. Scarcity. Voice your commitment. Consistency. Many others just like you. Validation. And of course, liking again. And then sa dulo pa ng article, may credits pa si author. So, nagpa-authority pa siya sa dulo na parang ganyan. Credible ako. So, yan. So, those six principles or techniques can work both ways. Pwedeng us as consumers, we can use that information to like decide better. Pero tayo rin as marketers or as influencers, we can use these syempre to our advantage also. Or to help our clients reach their goals. Okay. So, meron ding tinatawag na paradox of choice. Okay, so ano to? Paradox siya kasi first instinct ng mga tao, the more the merrier. Diba? The more choices I have, the better. I can choose more, I have more freedom. But actually, that's not always the case pagdating sa choices. Kaya why more is less. For example, ito, menu ng restaurant. Nakakita na siguro kayo ng ganitong menu. Diba? Like, sobrang daming choices. Ang lala, ang hirap pumili. Feel mo exam siya. Feel mo, whatever you choose, there's always something better than what you chose. So, bakit nga ba may ganong feeling pag sobrang daming choices? When you're faced with sobrang daming choices. So, mayroong 2 reasons. 1, opportunity cost. So, ano to? Itong opportunity cost, ito yung benefits nung other option. So, if meron kang option A, option B, yung opportunity cost of choosing option A is losing option B. Yes. Cost siya kasi loss siya. Like, hindi mo ma-experience yung option B if kinuha mo si option A. And then, mayroong trade-off. So, trade-off, ito yung compromise after you weigh your options. It's what happens when you already have to make a choice. So, it's these two that contribute to the paradox of choice or that conflicting feeling when you have to choose something over another. Pero, bilang UX tayo, we can do something about this. Okay, so we know that when users are bombarded by so many choices, nahirapan sila pumili. So, how might we make the experience, improve the experience of making a choice? So, may mind-blown meme dyan. Kasi parang when I was writing this, parang, whoa, sobrang abstract ng making a choice. Parang, whoa, UX, man. So, may asterisk, without compromising the number of choices available because, money. Let's say yan yung business constraint na design problem na to. Okay? So, how do we make it easier for users to choose something while reducing the feeling of loss without actually compromising the number of choices available? So, dito na papasok yung 6 techniques na ginamit natin kanina. Paano? Sample. Itong menu. Mayroong specific items na nakamark as chef recommended. So, anong technique to? Authority. So, parang, if I'm a new user, like hindi ako super user ng restaurant na to, then mas madali for me to pumili na parang, okay, doon na lang ako what the chef says, di ba? Pwede rin yung parang crowd favorite or popular, ganyan. Ano yun? Validation naman yun. So, but the other options are still there for, for the super users or the power users who want to try something else. Okay? So, dun siya mapasok. And then, I guess pwede rin dito yung liking if like may may food item na nakapangalan kay Chris Aquino or whatever. Like Catriona Gray pasta or whatever. So, yun. And then, okay, so we've talked about opportunity cost and trade-off. And then meron pang isa. That is post-choice discomfort. So, ano naman to? Ito naman happens after you decide. So, the other two happens while you're making a choice, before you make a choice. Ito, after you make a choice. So, what is this? Basically, alam nyo, imagine nasa Jollibee kayo. Okay? Sa Jollibee kayo, tapos, nasa pila kayo and you're thinking what to get. Chicken Joy or Burger Steak. Hindi na siya problem ngayon kasi may combination na eh. Pero imagine nyo wala pa yun. Nung unang panahon wala pa yun. So, Chicken Joy or Burger Steak. And then, pagdating mo sa cashier, right after you say, let's say burger steak, right after you say burger steak, you already feel na parang, shit, dapat ba nag-chicken joy na lang ako? Or, shit, sana nag-chicken joy na lang ako. Pero masarap rin yung burger steak, pero parang iba pa rin yung chicken joy. So, you can't help but feel some sort of sadness nga. So, yun yung post-choice discomfort na actually, whatever choice you make, you will feel that way. Na if nag-chicken joy ka, you will still say, shit, dapat ba nag-burger steak na ako? Right? So, that's a thing. Like, that's a phenomenon amongst us Homo sapiens. So, what contributes to that feeling? Attachment. Okay? So, not disattachment. It's like literal attachment. So, parang na-attach ka na sa choice na yon. Kasi, increased sense of attachment equals increased sense of loss. Okay? So, how do we get attached to things? For example, yan, nasa cashier lang ako. I'm just thinking about burger steak or Jollibee. Tapos, may picture yung burger steak, pati may picture din yung Jollibee. Chicken Joy. So, parang that already, seeing it visually, induces some sort of attachment na. Mas intense doon, kasi yung visual lang, mas intense doon yung physical proximity. So, example, may actual product, hindi naman pagkain, actual product, like remote, ganyan. Nahawakan mo both. Mas na-attach ka to either of the two. So, when you let go of something, parang, na-attach na ako doon. So, moral of the story, kung ikaw yung customer, huwag ka na lang ma-attach. Okay? Try your best. Huwag ka ma-attach. Pero, kung ikaw yung business, you can take advantage of that human weakness. How? Okay, example sa Kenny Rogers. So, sa Kenny Rogers kasi, di ba may sides sila? Tapos, yung sides sila naka-display dun sa cashier. Like, maamoy mo siya, makikita mo siya, nandun siya, hindi lang siya picture. So, parang, kung ang smart ni Kenny Rogers, kasi alam niya, yung isang plate niya, isa lang yung sides na pwede or dalawa. Right? But since ginawa niyang physically closer yung choices to the users, to the consumers. Parang, if ako yung consumer, mas mahirap pumili for me. So, if I can just choose one side, then I'll choose something. Tapos sabihin ko, wait, parang gusto ko pa ng mashed potato. So, magbabayad na lang ako for that. Wise.
You pay more.
Yeah, you pay for that extra para mawala yung post-choice discomfort mo. So, that's one way of doing things also. Okay. So, to conclude, these things, the stuff I talked about, are again, all normal things. It's human nature, it's part of us talaga. Kaya caveman, kasi feel ko pati naman sila noon, nafe-feel nila to. Kasi wala, tao tayo, ganun talaga. So, does this mean doomed na tayo forever? Na forever na tayong mauto ng mga marketers, forever na tayong maluloko kasi ganun talaga, tao tayo? Siyempre, hindi. Nope. There's hope for us, human beings. So, ano yung takeaway natin dito? Number one, let's be aware of our biases and of our tendencies. Again, we can use this information to control ourselves. So, parang, okay, wait, nadadala lang ako kasi binobola niya ako. Ganon. Or, okay, nadadala lang ako kasi uso siya. So, pag na-detect natin yun, if you want, you can police yourself. Yun nga, like what I did. So that you can make, instead of being nadala, you can push for a more informed decision instead. Na hindi ka na lang nadala, but you really know na you want this because of this, and this. Ganon. So, thanks. Ang weird ng conclusion ko. Akala ko powerful na siya. Pero yun. So, you can make an informed decision. So, yun lang guys. Thanks. Let's all make good choices.